Hi, welcome to another episode of Good Cube Sunday here on Good Cube Kitchen. Today we are going to be making something really cool. We're going to be making a cookie bowl. Yes, it's something again that I saw on the internet and I'm super excited to try it. And so I'm not going to be making ice cream today. We're going to use the leftover ice cream from last week's episode because a good chocolate chip cookie and some peppermint ice cream is going to be amazing. So let's get started on our cookie bowl. First, you need to take half a cup of softened butter and some brown sugar and some white sugar, equal parts, and whisk them together in your mixer. Now you can do it with a hand mixer or you can do it in a stand mixer. Either one is up to you. But you want to whisk them together until they become fluffy. So I'm using a third cup of brown sugar. Oop, that's chocolate. Third cup of brown sugar. Third cup of white sugar. And a splash of vanilla. Boop. And then I like to hit it with a splash of cayenne pepper because I love when you trick the brain into being confused with all the different flavors you've got going on in your palate. So I'm going to combine 1 cup of flour, a half teaspoon of baking soda. That's the other half of my cup of flour. In a bowl with a little bit of flaky salt, if I can get it open. We're going to mix these together so that when this is done whisking, we can combine it together. So, going to get that started in whisking. Really slow. You want to add this in gently, but before we do that, we're going to add over our egg. Now we're going to combine 1 egg. It's always best to crack your egg in something separate to make sure you get out the shell. Now we're going to turn it down and begin to incorporate it just a little at a time. Now that it's just combined, I'm going to clean off. Then just combine my chocolate chips. And you really just want to fold these in. Scooping from the bottom, pulling up to the top. Just a good fold. I'm going to turn this out into my flour. So, now, here's the fun part. In order to make this bowl, we need a bowl mold. So I'm going to use these 2 bowls, and I'm going to combine them and put them into my NuvaWave wave cooker. So I'm going to preheat this. All right, now that it is preheating, I'm going to simply take some cooking spray. Put in, I'll say a glob and a half. Should probably spray this side too. That's delicious. And then I'm gonna just push it. I think I need a little bit more. I'm going to smear it around the sides. Get it around the sides really well. Fill any gaps. A little bit more on the bottom. And now, put that in. And I'm going to take some rice and put it inside to weigh it down. And this is rice that I just use as a weight. It's been cooked so many times. I'm not sure exactly what the texture would come out like if I tried to boil it. All right. So just gonna pause the convection. Pop this in here and let it cook for about 10 minutes. All right, it's time to take it out. Pour off our rice weights. And let's see what happens. Doesn't want to come free. Let's grab some tools. And this time, a little help. Oh no, it didn't set. It wasn't done cooking. After about 27 minutes, the crust is starting to form. I took it out at about 20 minutes and emptied out my rice. And then I decided you all might want to see this. Got a much better, more firm. I think that's done. 45 minutes later. Take two is completed after about 45 minutes of baking. So now let's try to take it out. This is the part that I'm most afraid of. I want to remove it from its mold, but I also need to cool it. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to swap out the center mold because it's already warm for a cooler mold. And then I'm going to flip it. So I made a slight variation to the recipe. I added an additional quarter cup of flour because the first one that lit out was the reward for hubris. I was entirely too arrogant thinking that I knew better than the people who created the original recipe. And so I did not let it cook long enough, one. Two, I think my chocolate to batter ratio was way off because when it rolled out, it was a gooey chocolate mess. Now, it probably would have tasted delicious as a cookie, but I knew that that wasn't going to work for a bowl. And so now that I have removed it, I am going to take it over to the refrigerator, and I'll see you back in about 20 minutes. While our bowl is cooling, I had a thought. If I really want to have ice cream in that bowl, there needs to be something to protect the cookie from the melting ice cream. So I realized I need a shell. Making a chocolate shell is actually super simple. You just need about a quarter cup of chocolate chips. That's a little less, but that's all I got left. And then about a tablespoon of coconut oil plus about a teaspoon. So that should be about this. One of the best part about this is as long as you don't go crazy with the difference in measurements, you don't really have to measure this so much. If you go too heavy on the oil, then you'll just get a thinner crust and you can apply multiple layers. Let's microwave this and we'll bring it all back together. Now it's time for the grand unveiling. I'm super excited. Still a bit warm, but that's a workable bowl. So now let's lacquer it with some chocolate. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Good Cubed Kitchen. I'm not even really got anything left to say. I just really want to dig into this. So please follow me on all social media platforms. That's GoodCube, GoodCub 3D, on all social media platforms. And as always, thank the good Lord for good food and good times. All that good is good cubed. Have a good one.